All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel Expatriate Living. Rao's here. I do apologize, it's been a little over a year since the last video was posted. Things got very hectic during that time there, so I do apologize for that there. Moving forward, I've decided to go back into creating content specifically designed for expatriates, obviously for expatriates globally, no matter where you are in the world, but specifically targeting the South African market simply because I'm a South African citizen and I understand the dynamics of citizens of that country. So, obviously, as an expat, for those of you who have been in it for any number of years. I'm sure that everyone's winding down now. Summer vacation or holidays approaching, so I'm sure people will be taking leave or going on summer vacation, depending on the profession that you're in. Right now, with that being said, for today's video, I'd like to keep it pretty short and simple, and I'd like to address it to new expats, those that are either just starting out their journey or those that are in the process of starting out their journey. So let's start with those that are in the process of actually starting the journey. Something pretty important to realize straight off the bat is that with regards to expats, one of the key sectors is education. Going back a couple of years, the key sector was ESL, or English as a second language. Mostly these were training centers, schools, universities, depending on where you chose to be in the world. I've taught in South Korea, China, Saudi Arabia, and each experience has been different, and each time I've gone back, it's been a little bit different. I don't claim to pretty much know the setup of either Saudi Arabia or South Korea, because I haven't been teaching there or living there as an expat for going on 6 years. So most of the content that I'll cover will be with regards to expatriate life in China, but for anybody who would like a little bit more information, possibly regarding things like places like South Korea or Saudi Arabia, to a lesser extent the UAE, please feel free to drop your comments in the comment section below and I will address it. Straight off the bat, I'm probably going to do 2 to 3 videos a week. There's a lot of time, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it, so I will try to get through everybody's comments or suggestions or questions in the comment box below within the space of a week. All right, now going back, for those first timers starting your journey, good place to look at is to decide what type of industry you want to be in. Again, one of the more popular industries to go into is ESL, teaching English, but obviously that's broadened out a lot over the last, I would say, 5 to 6 years. So for those of you who are qualified teachers, and by that I mean you have qualified teaching status, teaching licenses, say certificates, any of that there, your chances of landing a decent or better teaching position go up exponentially. All right. In addition to that there, if you are looking at English, having additional certification like TESOL, INTERSOL, TEFL, Master TEFL stands you in good stead. Having something like a CELTA or Delta puts you in a slightly higher income bracket, so that's something to look at. If you are not specialize in English. So let's say you are in history, geography, accounting, economics is a really popular and sought after um, teachers right now. So you would then want to look at schools either offering IB, which is International Baccalaureate, but simply from my experiences, I would consider going with um, Cambridge University Press and Assessment schools that offer for grade 10 IGCSE, which is the International Graduate Certificate for Secondary Education. It's based on the British-based curriculum. It's actually the national curriculum of the UK for grade 10s, which is just GCSE because it's localized to the UK. Again, that stands for Graduate Certificate for Secondary Education. That basically allows you to move forward to grade 11, where you'll be doing AS levels, and then eventually grade 12, where you'll be doing A levels. I've had the privilege of teaching IB and IGCSE. From my point of view, I prefer IGCSE, AS levels, and A levels. I think that Cambridge University Press and Assessment has done a wonderful, magnificent job of taking the national curriculum of the UK, internationalizing it. They've looked at aspects like cultural sensitivity and the like. So that's really important. It is, to date, the most sought after international curriculum anywhere in the world. It pretty much expands throughout the world, from South America to North America to Europe, Africa, Asia, the Middle East, and everything in between. If you are going to consider going down that route there, it is pretty important that you have a qualified teacher's license, say certificate, whatever else. And it is pretty important that you start looking at things like webinars and different types of certification programs that you could do. Again, Cambridge University Press and Assessment is extremely good at conducting these type of webinars. Their accreditation and qualifications are well sought after. Now, if you are going into English, which is what I do, things like CELTA and Delta will stand you in a much higher regard. For any of your viewers out there that are based in Johannesburg, the two language institutes that I can recommend, and I'll only make recommendations based on my experiences. That does not mean to say that other language institutes out there are not good or effective or efficient. I'm only offering my perspective based on my experiences. So with regards to that, the Wits Language School is extremely good, extremely efficient, been around for well over a decade. I did my first sort of ESL training there when I did my TESOL and my INTERSOL, and that was way back in 2009. Right. International House, if you are going to get a lot more serious with regards to that, they're looking at CELTA programs and Delta programs. That's pretty much the way to go, particularly if you lack any sort of meaningful teaching experience, and I'll go into that in just a minute. So again, those are the two institutes that I would look at: Wits Language School and International House if you are in the Johannesburg area. International House's CELTA program is fully accredited by Cambridge University Press and Assessment, so obviously that puts you in a very favorable position. And for today's video, I will pretty much stop it here. There's a lot for viewers out there to process. You do so at your own time and your own discretion. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon for more notifications, and feel free to go ahead and leave any comments in the comment section below, and I will get back to them as soon as possible. So for everybody out there, have a really good Saturday or Friday night, depending on where you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll catch you in the next video.